Synthetic hearts, bloodless sustains. Rebellion lives in steely core. Gorgons rage forevermore. Ancient beast, a future past. Echoes loud, sonic clash. Forged in war, a destined path. Mechanical god of wrath.
Hyperdrive screams through slashing claws and iron. Echoes of defiance resound. Steel confront and steel in the blaze of conflict. Heroes of the battleground. Tall in the dust of echoes. Enemies falter in the face of might. Throw awake for giants in the lunar shadows. Guardian of the night. bloodless sustained. Rebellion lives in steely core. Gorgons rage forevermore. Ancient beast of future past, echoes loud, sonic clash. Forged in war on destined path, mechanical god of wrath. Scales gleam in neon's glow, clashing titans deathly show. Rust and roar and plasma fire, Gorgon fuels the endless fire. Gorgon roars with fury untamed, laser fire untouchable pain. Marching on through shockwave blast,